If you love tea and cats, then you need to play this game. Cause in Pekoe, you can make tea for cats. And I know a lot of people have been wanting a relaxing game like this for a long time. So when Kitten Cup Studio offered to give me the key, I said yes right away cause I really want to show this game to you. Now, let's see how cozy this game is. The story starts when you move to Pekoe to have a slower and more relaxing life. But as you arrive, you see that things are not quite as pretty as what the advertisement said. The town feels empty and the tea house you took over is not in a good shape. And turns out the previous owner of the tea house named Chewon is someone who's very dear to the Cattison. Because of this, some of the Cattison isn't really welcoming. So now you have to prove yourself as the new owner of the tea house that you have what it takes to make Pekoe and its Cattison your new home. Although the story is very simple, I feel like it's very relatable story. Cause maybe you are in similar situation or you've seen someone in similar situation. Furthermore, you can really see why the Cattison love Chewon as they tell you old memories they have about her. It really makes me feel as if I was part of those old stories and it makes me relate to the character even more. Sadly, aside from the main story, the friendship dialogue still limited since this game is still in early access. Furthermore, I talk to the cats every day, which eventually make it feels a bit repetitive. But all of the cats look super cute and adorable, especially when they talk like meow 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 meow, which make me melt instantly, so I really don't mind talking to them every day. The main gameplay of this game is of course the tea making. The cats will come to your tea house to order, but it's a bit confusing at first since the icon for when there is a cat customer in our tea shop is still buggy. Get it? Cat customer? Anyway, at first I feel lost at what to do since there seems to be no customer in my tea house because of the bug. What you need to do to fix this bug is to leave the tea house and enter it again right away. Then you will see new customer coming. Once they say they order, then you will enter the preparing process. In the preparing process, you will choose which ingredient you want to use to fulfill the orders. So if you have more ingredients in your inventory, means you will have more options to choose. You can also freely choose which appliances and utensils you want to use. You can buy new appliances, utensils, and ingredients from the other shop around the town. One thing to note is the basic tea ingredients seems to be pretty rare. So if you find them, make sure to prioritize getting all of the tea first before you buy the milk and sweeteners, then lastly the toppings. I really hope they will balance the shop more so the main ingredient will come out more frequently. Once you've prepared everything, then you will enter the tea making process which uses very realistic approach. First, you need to brew the water to certain temperature, put the ingredients in, step them for certain time, and even stir the tea in the end. All of this is done in real time, and the animation also looks real, besides the stirring, which I think still look a bit stiff, especially for the matcha whisking. But I do find this tea making process to be the most relaxing part of the game, and I really enjoy it. I can play this game for hours before bed since I really love how calming the gameplay is. Although the tutorial is a bit confusing and the text disappears too fast before I can understand it. I wish they will add the tutorial in the in-game menu so I can read it slowly to better understand it instead of adding it on the main menu. Furthermore, there are still a few bugs in this early access during the tea making process which will disturb the flow. I think some of you might find the bug annoying, especially when it happens when you are in the zone of tea making process. When you start to feel relaxed but then bam, it bugged. So keep that in mind if you consider getting the game in early access. There are two areas where you can serve the tea. First is the shop area where you will be serving random customers that visit the town. When you serve tea in the shop area, you will earn pot pins, which is the in-game currency, and tea points. You need this tea point to increase your level so you can progress in the main story. So you need to make sure to get as high tea points as possible by fulfilling the requirements such as tea temperature, steeping time, adding correct ingredients, and so on. Once you collect enough tea points, you will level up, and you can see the towns become more lively as more and more cats come to visit. You will also see how the Cattison become friendlier, and they will have more dialogues to say when you talk to them. The second area is the window in your room, where you will serve tea to your cat friends. For this one, you will only get tea points. Each character have their own likes and dislikes, so you need to pay attention to it when you choose the ingredients since it will affect the tea points that you will get. Once you serve the tea, then they will talk to you and sometimes they will have options that you can choose to increase their friendship points. Sadly, their dialogue still limited in this early access, so it feels like they just repeating what they already said to me when I visit them. Although they already plan to add more dialogue, but I hope they will add new dialogue that's exclusive for when we serve them tea, so it will feel like we really sat down and having new conversation with them. For the decorating, the only area that you can decorate is your room since the tea shop area will automatically change design when you level up. And to decorate, you need to purchase the items from the shops. Then you just need to choose which design you want for the items. The design itself looks really cute, but sadly you can't really customize the room beyond choosing the design. I really wish you can design our own tea shop instead of the default design cause I find the other shop have cuter items. Now, there's actually a free mode, but I feel like this mode is unnecessary since at first I thought we can serve customer continuously in this mode. But turns out we just make tea for ourselves. Don't get me wrong, I do like making tea for myself, but I can't do that in the story mode too, so I feel like this free mode is a bit lacking. The only difference is, in free mode you will get all of the ingredients and recipe, so you don't really need to waste your inventory. I really wish we can serve the cat that we like instead of making tea for ourselves, cause I feel like it will make this free mode more enjoyable. Overall, I really enjoy the game. The tea making process and the music that accompany it feels really relaxing. I also don't really mind the bug cause I can just exit the process and wait for new customers. But I do know that some people can ignore that, so if you want to avoid the bug, I suggest to wait until they fix it before getting the game. Another thing that I really love is the town design since they are very detailed and it looks really cozy. I really wish our house, especially the yard area, can be as cozy as the other house. Cause right now there's no change to the yard even if you have level up, and it looks very bare. Another thing that I love is the cat design, cause they look so adorable and they often say silly things that make you laugh. There are all sorts of Easter eggs that you can find set by the cats which I find really cute. I think without the bugs, this game will be the cozy, relaxing game that everyone waiting for. I wish Kitten Cup Studio can fix the bugs as soon as possible so more people can enjoy the game. And if you want another cozy game like this, check my Everdeen Valley review.